watching New Time on Silkway TV channel. We bring you the most notable news and important events that happened throughout this week in Kazakhstan, Central Asia and around the globe. Stay with us for more details on politics, the economy, as well as social and cultural life, with opinions from the most recognized experts from Kazakhstan and around the world. I'm Nurbek Machani, and here is what you'll see today. Vladimir Putin paid a state visit to Kazakhstan. From nuclear energy to autonomous freight transport, Kazakhstan and Russia have signed a series of major agreements aimed at deepening strategic cooperation. Astana also hosted the Eurasian Economic Forum and the Supreme Eurasian Economic Council, where artificial intelligence, digital technologies and the future of economic cooperation are taking center stage. AI is taking center stage in Kazakhstan's creative industry. Astana has launched an international AI film festival, inviting creators from around the world to compete and redefine the future of cinema. Kazakhstan and Russia have signed an agreement on financing the construction of the country's first nuclear power plant. Russian President Vladimir Putin paid a state visit to Astana, where the two sides reached a series of major agreements. Among the key developments was the launch of the first international route for autonomous cargo trucks. A substantial package of documents was signed at the highest level, covering energy, transport, education and digitalization. Astana and Moscow are now linked by a new document outlining 7 pillars of strategic partnership and cooperation. Irgali Ramazanov reports on key agreements shaping the future of Kazakh-Russian relations.
Right from the start, Kazym-Jomart Tokayev pointed out that the visit of his Russian counterpart carries major significance for the development of allied relations between the two countries. He began by highlighting one of the key documents planned for signing.
This is our joint statement on the 7 pillars of strategic partnership and allied relations between our countries. The number 7 itself is a very meaningful number, and the word pillar is equally important. The document itself is truly unique. I personally worked on it and introduced amendments. I believe it will become part of a historical record of cooperation between our nations and will carry great significance.
The talks continued in an expanded format with the participation of official delegations. The Russian delegation included more than 30 representatives from ministries and major companies. The meeting was broadcast to a wider audience. Among the central topics were trade and economic cooperation, inter-regional ties and collaboration within the Central Asia plus Russia framework. Kazakh investments in the Russian economy have exceeded $9 billion. A pool of 177 joint projects has been formed, with more than 120 already implemented. Trade turnover is expected to reach $30 billion in the near future.
Russia remains among Kazakhstan's leading trade partners. Trade turnover grew steadily in 2025, as we also discussed during the narrow format meeting. 70 joint investment projects are currently being implemented, and this is only the beginning.
Logistics became one of the key topics of discussion. Kazakhstan and Russia continue to develop the north-south and east-west international transport corridors. Cargo transportation volumes are steadily growing and exceeded 90 million tons last year. The two leaders were also presented with the launch of the autonomous cargo route Astana-Moscow. For the first time, freight trucks covered nearly 3,000 kilometers without drivers in just 2 days.
Today we're witnessing not just the introduction of new technologies, we're seeing the beginning of a new era in the development of autonomous cargo transportation.
The governments of Kazakhstan and Russia also signed agreements on the principles and terms of cooperation in the construction of a nuclear power plant in Kazakhstan. A roadmap extending through 2030 in the field of nuclear and radiation safety was also approved.
The agreements signed today on the construction of the Balkhash nuclear power plant are of exceptional importance. I would like to express gratitude to the President of the Russian Federation for his personal and decisive support in launching this large-scale project, which will become a driving force for scientific, educational and technological cooperation, while also ensuring the development of related energy and industrial sectors.
Via teleconference, the two presidents also launched the construction of the Syria School in Astana. A symbolic capsule was laid in the foundation of the future educational center by school children together with representatives of the educational sectors of both countries. The main goal of the project is to create modern infrastructure for talented youth. Kassym-Jomart Tokayev described the Russian president's state visit as successful and noted that it would become an important milestone in the history of strategic partnership between the two countries. Vladimir Putin in turn emphasized the constructive and business-oriented nature of the talks based on friendly and good neighborly relations.
Президент Республики Казахстан Касым-Жомарт Токаев и президент Российской Федерации Владимир Путин подписывают совместное заявление о 7 основах дружбы и добрососедства народов Казахстана и России.
Following the talks, the two sides adopted a joint statement on the 7 pillars of friendship and good neighborliness between Kazakhstan and Russia. The delegations also exchanged a number of intergovernmental and interagency agreements covering energy, education, digitalization, security, and other areas of cooperation. The visit concluded at the Alley of Eternal Friendship between Kazakhstan and Russia, where the two presidents planted an oak tree, a symbol of mutual respect, enduring friendship, and the multifaceted partnership between the two nations. Yergali Ramazanule, New Time.
Artificial intelligence could increase global GDP by as much as $7 trillion over the next 10 years. This estimate, attributed to Goldman Sachs, was cited by Kassym-Jomart Tokayev at the Eurasian Economic Forum. Speaking at the plenary session, the president noted that Kazakhstan proposes expanding the use of AI within the Eurasian Economic Union, particularly in the trade, logistics, customs administration and the agricultural sector. Yergali Ramazanoglu analyzed all the key statements.
For 2 days, the Congress Center in Astana has turned into the key gathering point for politicians, international experts and business leaders from across the Eurasian region. The presidents of the Eurasian Economic Union member states joined the forum for a plenary session. In his opening remarks, Kassym-Jomart Tokayev pointed out the Union is not merely a regional integration association, but also an important player in the global economy. The central discussions at the forum revolved around artificial intelligence. President Tokayev noted that the rapid development of AI has already become a fundamental factor in the global economy.
По оценкам Международного валютного фонда, предстоящие годы по мере внедрения технологий.
According to IMF estimates, in the coming years, as AI technologies are introduced, up to 40% of jobs in the global labor market may be affected. Naturally, this will require the retraining of hundreds of millions of people around the world and the acquisition of new skills and knowledge. Even the most developed countries will face a task of unprecedented scale and depth in transforming their national education systems. The key question is whether we will be able to use digital technologies as an effective tool for accelerated economic and social development. It is no exaggeration to say that the future of any country with even minimal ambitions will be dependent on the successful resolution of this issue.
Зависит будущее стран, обладающих маломальскими амбициями.
President Tokayev emphasized that Kazakhstan is open to partnership and cooperation with EAEU member states in order to ensure high quality and accelerated digital transformation. Against this backdrop, the head of state underscored the urgent need to accelerate the adoption of new technologies, especially AI, in the fields of trade and logistics.
С целью ускорения таможенных процедур важно усилить
To accelerate custom procedures, it is important to strengthen the interaction between national digital systems. This will enable real-time processing of all documents, identification of bottlenecks, and forecasting of cargo flows. Mutual recognition of digital signatures will help to drastically reduce business costs and increase trade volumes across the EAEU space. The use of the analytical potential of AI is also of great practical importance for expanding industrial cooperation. To strengthen food security in our countries, priority should be given to the implementation of intelligence systems in the agro-industrial sector.
в агропромышленном комплексе.
The EAEU member states adopted a joint statement on the responsible development of artificial intelligence initiated by Kassym-Jomart Tokayev in December of 2025. The main objective of the document is to establish common approaches among the union's members to the digitalization of key sectors of the economy and to ensure the safe implementation of AI technologies, taking mutual interests into account. Yergali Ramazanule, New Time.
Continuing the topic, Kassym-Jomart Tokayev also held meetings of the Supreme Eurasian Economic Council in both narrow and expanded formats this Friday. The head of state noted that Treaty on Eurasian Economic Union was signed in Astana 12 years ago on May 29th, officially designating this date as the EAEU Day. Speaking at expanded session, President Tokayev stressed the need to adapt the Union to evolving global realities and strengthen its competitiveness. He noted that the EU continues to demonstrate steady macroeconomic growth, with the bloc's combined GDP projected to expand by around 2.5% over the next 2 years.
Despite the instability and volatility of global markets, trade turnover between our countries exceeded $95 billion last year. This year, we expect mutual trade to grow by more than 6%, allowing us to surpass the $100 billion mark.
The president also outlined several priorities for deeper regional cooperation, including the digitalization of the major transport corridors. He described the Eurasian transport network as a high-tech system of international routes linking the key markets of Asia, Europe and the Middle East. The network comprises more than 50,000 kilometers of transit corridors, including over the 10,000 kilometers that run through Kazakhstan.
To maintain a key role in the global system of trade and economic relations, it is essential to further develop and digitalize cross-border infrastructure. Flexible logistics solutions, reliable supply chains, and faster cargo clearance will significantly increase transit flows through the Eurasian Economic Union.
The head of state also called for expanding the Union's economic partnership with the countries in the Arab world, Southeast Asia, Africa and Latin America. During the meeting, EU member states approved the launch of negotiations on a free trade agreement with Tunisia and signed an agreement on economic cooperation with Serbia, further strengthening the Union's international economic ties. President Tokayev noted that the EU should continue unlocking its trade and economic potential beyond its borders and voice support for ongoing negotiations with India on establishing a free trade agreement. Negotiations with India remain among the Union's key priorities aimed at expanding the trade and investment opportunities across the Eurasian region.
Further expansion of the Union's ties with countries in the Arab world, Southern East Asia, Africa and Latin America is essential, as is deeper cooperation with reputable regional economic organizations. At the same time, partners for free trade agreements and candidates for observer status should be selected carefully and selectively, not indiscriminately, but based on clear criteria on their ability to bring tangible benefits to the Eurasian Economic Union.
Kassym-Jomart Tokayev stressed the need to strengthen the digital foundation of Eurasian integration and expand joint technological initiatives. He noted that amid the emergence of the new technological paradigm, digitalization and AI are becoming key drivers of growth, shaping the speed of data processing, the level of automation, and the depth of innovation adoption. According to experts, global investments in AI technologies have already surpassed $1 trillion mark, while their contribution to the world economy expected to exceed $7 trillion in the coming decades. The discussions concluded with the signing of a number of documents, including amendments to the EA-EU Treaty, the expansion of financial support for cooperative projects in the agro-industrial sector, and the updates to provisions related to customs regulation. The leaders also adopted a joint statement on the responsible development of the artificial intelligence. Kassym-Jomart Tokayev welcomed the signing of the roadmap for deepening cooperation between Kazakhstan and the International Atomic Energy Agency until 2036, along with a series of agreements in the fields of nuclear medicine and science. The president made the statement during a meeting with the Director General of the IAEA, Rafael Grossi. The latter, in turn, praised Kazakhstan's consistent commitment to strengthening global nuclear security and the non-proliferation regime. Rafael Grossi congratulated Kazakhstan on the launch of its civilian nuclear energy development program, a decision made following a nationwide referendum on the construction of a nuclear power plant. In an exclusive interview with our channel, Grossi said that Kazakhstan and the IAEA officially effectively entering a new phase of cooperation. According to him, all previously announced steps, including plans for civilian nuclear energy development and the referendum, have been implemented, and the program is now moving into an implementation stage, which will inevitably expand cooperation with the agency.
Kazakhstan has a number of advantages from departure. You know, when it comes to countries that exceed to nuclear energy, in many cases, you have to build institutions, you have to build a regulator, etc. Kazakhstan was in a very unique situation because Kazakhstan had a number of nuclear, including a nuclear power plant, which has been decommissioned on the Caspian Sea, as you well know. Then there is Kazakhstan is one of the world's biggest uranium mining and uranium production and conversion producers in the world. So the only thing that was missing, if you want, were nuclear power plants. So in that sense, there's a lot of mileage, if you want, already in the Kazakh counter. You know, the IEA provides for countries that are building nuclear power plants advisory services, peer review services, so that countries themselves can check.
What do those look like? How exactly?
For example, for the licensing, you know, to license a nuclear power plant is a very meticulous process where you have to really check every system, every design, every functionality, equipment. So it's a very systematic, detailed process. So we provide services to help countries check themselves whether they are on a good track. Then we do pre-operational, when you are getting ready to commission your nuclear power plant. Is like you do like a dress rehearsal for a theater. You know, is everything ready? Can we go ahead with this? So all of these things are things that the agency does as a service for countries, and we are going to be doing this here in Kazakhstan.
So basically, the agency is going to be there every step of the way.
Exactly.
For us.
Exactly. We've done this with great success in other countries that introduced or reintroduced nuclear power to make sure that it's done safely and securely.
Sure.
Water security, environmental sustainability and the scientific cooperation are becoming increasingly important priorities across Central Asia. This week, countries in the region announced new initiatives aimed at tackling climate changes, strengthening cross-border water management and expanding international partnerships in science and technology. From efforts to save the Caspian Sea to the regional agreements on irrigation and innovation, governments are placing greater focus on long-term sustainable development. Let's take a closer look in our weekly segment, Central Asia in Focus. My colleague Almir Amirov joins me now.
Thank you, Nurbek. One of the key trends this week is the growing level of regional and international cooperation on issues related to water resources, environmental protection, and scientific development. Central Asian countries are increasingly working together and with global partners to address challenges that directly affect economic stability, agriculture, and the well-being of millions of people. Let's begin with the new environmental initiative aimed at helping Kazakhstan tackle the shrinking of the Caspian Sea. And the United Nations Development Program and the government of Japan are allocating $3 million to help Kazakhstan tackle the shrinking of the Caspian Sea. The new initiative focuses on improving water governance, strengthening environmental monitoring, and boosting regional cooperation among Caspian countries. According to experts, the Caspian Sea is facing a rapid decline in water levels, caused by climate change, rising temperatures, increased evaporation, and reduced river inflows. The environmental crisis threatens biodiversity, fisheries, economic stability, and the livelihood of millions of people living along the coast. As a part of the project, Kazakhstan plans to enhance scientific monitoring in the northern Caspian region and improve data exchange with neighboring states. Officials say the initiative will also support evidence-based decision-making and help develop long-term strategies for sustainable water management. The project is being implemented in partnership with Kazakhstan's Ministry of Ecology and Natural Resources and the Ministry of Water Resources and Irrigation. This week, the fourth high-level international conference on the International Decade for Action, Water for Sustainable Development, opened in Tajikistan's capital as part of the Dushanbe water process, bringing together world leaders, international organizations, and experts to address global water security challenges. Speaking at the forum, Emomali Rahmon unveiled several new international initiatives aimed at strengthening cooperation in sustainable water management. Among the key proposals was the
launch of the Dushanbe Framework Program on water issues to coordinate international efforts and support practical solutions in the sector. He also announced plans to establish an International Water Resources Prize under the President of the Republic of Tajikistan to promote water diplomacy and encourage global cooperation. Participants highlighted the need for deeper regional collaboration in Central Asia on transboundary water management and called for the creation of an interstate energy commission with the International Fund for Saving the Aral Sea. Kazakhstan, Tajikistan and Uzbekistan have agreed on the operating schedule of the Bakhri water reservoir for the summer of 2026. The trilateral protocol signed by the country's water management ministries is aimed at ensuring stable irrigation supplies for farmers in southern Kazakhstan during the peak agricultural season. Under the agreement, water will be delivered to districts in the Turkestan region. Officials say the deal reflects growing regional cooperation on the management of shared water resources and is expected to support stable vegetation period across Central Asia. Representatives of the Ministries of Science and Technology from member states of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization have gathered in Bishkek for the 10th SCO meeting on science and technology cooperation. The event brought together delegations from Kazakhstan, China, Russia, India, Iran, Pakistan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Belarus, and the host country Kyrgyz Republic to discuss strengthening scientific and technological partnerships. Participants focused on expanding cooperation in innovation, joint research projects, and the development of scientific potential across SCO member states. Officials also reviewed new initiatives aimed at promoting technology exchange and deeper collaboration in areas of science and innovation. Organizers say the conference serves as an important international platform for enhancing scientific and technical cooperation within the SCO framework and strengthening long-term partnerships between participating countries. Nurbek, that's all from me for this week.
Thanks. Joining us, Almir Amirov with recent updates in Central Asia. It's officially happening. Astana AI Film Festival has opened submissions for creators from around the world to participate in the International AI Film Competition. Submissions will remain open until August 15th. The festival's concept, competition structure, and the launch details were unveiled at the press conference in Astana. So what does this new cinematic code look like in practice? My colleague Nuray Aslbek reports.
Ready, steady, generate. Astana AI Film Festival officially launches its global call for entries. The competition is structured into two sections, a thematic competition built around this year's idea, the future worth living in, and an open competition featuring 5 awards categories, including directing, visual language, storytelling, concept, and character creation. Participants may enter both sections. The open competition welcomes film of any theme, including previously completed works, while a thematic section is reserved for projects created specially for the festival and inspired by its central question: what kind of future are we actually creating?
Giving agenda like this would make our participants focus on something interesting and to have some high concept of the event. Otherwise it is very easy to just upload already existing works. And yes, also I'm very curious about how people from different countries, different ages, different genders and places, how they see this world, how they see the future of the world, given the turbulence happening in the world, given the very vast development, rapidly developing AI industry. I think it's a very common question, how the future is going to look like.
But there is one non-negotiable rule. The films must be created primarily through AI technologies. The competition is free and open to everyone, from solo creators to full production teams, regardless of age or professional background. To enter, participants need to submit an AI-generated short film up to 10 minutes long through the festival's website. Organizers see the festival as a step toward positioning Astana as a regional hub for AI and creative industries. The event is also expected to become an annual event.
As a creative people, we understand that we can create the AI Film Festival, this event to be like central event, I hope, in the world of this AI created movies. So it will be held like every year, I think with this experience, with more information that will be spread about our festival every year will be much more better, and I think the main thing actually is the participants. We want to integrate all the participants around the world.
Following the selection stage, festival organizers together with international jury will shortlist 25 finalist films, 10 in the main competition and 15 in open section. And fittingly for an AI film festival, artificial intelligence itself may also become part of judging process. Organizers say AI tools could help verify whether films were genuinely created using AI technologies and detect possible copyright or IP violations, a task nearly impossible to handle manually at large scale. To remind, Astana AI Film Festival will take place from September 28th to October 1st as part of Astana AI Week. Nuraya Slabek, Akijan Musakhan, Nur Arafat Ongar, New Time.
Renowned travel influencer from Kazakhstan has received one of the top awards in digital travel content at the Cannes Festival. Last week, Qazaqstan Mohamed Rahim was named the world's best travel blogger at the 2026 World Influencers and Bloggers Award, often referred to as the Oscars of the influencer industry, honoring the world's most impactful digital creators.
The Weibo Travel Award winner 2026 is Dastan Mohamed Rahim.
The Kazakh videographer earned global recognition for his cinematic travel film showcasing Kazakhstan's breathtaking landscape, rich culture and authentic local life. From the Altai Mountains to Sharan Canyon to remote steppe villages, his videos have captivated millions of viewers worldwide and helped present Kazakhstan to international audiences in a new way. Before becoming a full-time content creator, Dastan worked as a school teacher, a career path he eventually left to pursue storytelling, to the travel and filmmaking. Now he has 1.7 million followers to showcase the beauty of Kazakhstan. And that's it for today. All the main news about Kazakhstan and Central Asia can be found here. More special projects about our country are available on Silk Way TV channel. So stay tuned and see you next week.